I'm a disabled vet who lost my job when the pandemic hit. Since then, I've been home full-time while my wife kept working. Our son was born not long before COVID started, and now he's just turned 1. During this past year, I've handled everything around the house: cooking, cleaning, laundry, you name it. I've also been helping our 9-year-old daughter with her schoolwork and making sure both kids are well fed and taken care of. My ex-wife and I both came from tough childhoods, and we always said we wanted to give our kids the kind of loving home we never had. But the truth is, she had our second child as a last-ditch effort to save what was already a crumbling relationship. I supported her working more hours to bring in extra money, but once the pandemic hit, things spiraled. Money got tight, and we ended up moving in with my mom to ease the pressure and save on bills. What I didn't realize at the time was that she'd already been seeing someone else, since March, apparently. By April, I started to get suspicious. And by my birthday in May I knew. The way she pulled away from me, the coldness, the lies, it all added up. Her infidelity and emotional absence left me feeling completely alone. Now it's been almost a month since she left, and the kids and I are still living with my mom. She moved in with the guy she left me for. My daughter's pulled away from her completely, and our son, he doesn't even ask for her. Not for milk, not for hugs, nothing. It's like he's erased her from his tiny world. They seem to have moved on in their own way, but I'm still stuck in this quiet, aching loneliness. It's like we were walking through life together, sharing the same story, and one day, I looked beside me, and she was just gone. 14 years down the drain. To keep myself grounded, I've thrown myself into working out. I'm finally under 200 pounds for the first time in years, and I'm damn proud of that. These days, my kids are my reason to keep moving forward. I've even started writing poetry, it helps. But every time she lied about still being in touch with the guy she left me for, it hit me all over again. At this point, I don't see the point in trying to keep communication open. Still, despite everything, I hold on to a little hope that the future might be brighter. Finding a good lawyer has been tough, especially one my mom can trust. I want to be sure I'm working with someone who really knows their stuff. My mom and brother have been incredible through all of this. I honestly don't know where I'd be without them. My soon-to-be ex left me for someone she works with, and that's what pushed me to start the separation process and consult a lawyer. But money's been tight, and I couldn't afford to take it further. Still, I took a step forward by booking therapy sessions for myself and my daughter. It feels good to be doing something positive. To prep for school, I've set up a little reading and math routine for my daughter using workbooks. It's helping her catch up, and it gives us some structure. Meanwhile, I've been turning this whole situation over and over in my head. My ex is currently in a psychiatric hospital. And as much as I want her to heal, I honestly don't know if it's healthy for her to get more involved in the kids' lives again. She chose someone else over our family, over our kids, who were just 9 and 1. What's to stop her from doing it again when they're 10 and 2? I used to think I'd be there to support her no matter what. But now, I need to focus on my own healing. I've stopped reaching out. Her progress, if any, can't come at the cost of mine. I still hope she gets better, I do. But I can't be part of that process. Does that make me a bad person? I haven't asked about why she was hospitalized. I can guess, though. Based on what I've seen and my past experience as a firefighter, I figure it's tied to guilt or something darker. Still, I plan to be present when the trial starts. I'll stand by her then, out of decency. But I won't lie, I'm angry. She's put me in a hell of a spot. Our kids don't know the full story, and that breaks my heart. To keep them distracted, I set up a little art night, just something to help us all stay grounded. But it's clear this whole mess has hit our little boy hard. He's developed separation anxiety, and it only gets worse every time she pops back in after weeks of being gone. And she doesn't even seem to notice how much it affects him. Trying to manage this alone is exhausting. I miss the version of her I used to know. This road I'm walking, it's rough. Our daughter still idolizes her in some ways. She wants to see the best in her mom. I get it. I think there's some resentment under the surface, but I can't fully read her yet. In the past 2 months, my ex has come to see the kids 4, maybe 5 times. Sometimes she even takes them overnight to her new place. But it's all one-sided. Our daughter is the only one reaching out or replying. That used to feel normal. But now that I think about it, the signs were there long before all this happened. She was always glued to her phone, but it was always face down. She'd find reasons to head back to work early, and our conversations got shorter and more distant. I didn't want to see it then. But looking back, the writing was on the wall. While she was out enjoying parties and living it up with her new boyfriend, I played the role of full-time babysitter. The realization hit me hard, right on my birthday, actually. She didn't do a single thing to acknowledge it. And this is a woman who used to go out of her way to make me feel special on my day. That was the moment I knew for sure something was seriously off. I started digging around, and it didn't take long to find out she'd been dating her coworker since March. What crushed me most was that just a month earlier, in February, we'd gone on a family trip. I thought everything was good. I thought we were healing. But now I know better. Now I trust my instincts, and I won't let her actions blindside me again. Still, despite everything, I genuinely wish her peace and healing, for the sake of our kids, if nothing else. I've decided to keep my focus squarely on the kids and their well-being. To protect my peace, I've stopped all contact with her unless it directly involves the children. But that hasn't stopped her from reaching out like nothing ever happened. At first, I tried to be polite. But the more she ignored the damage she caused, the more bitter I became. I started snapping. I'm not proud of that, but I'm still not ready to talk to her, especially not like everything's normal. Before I cut her off completely, I used to send her pictures of the kids. I thought maybe she'd see what she was walking away from. But now it seems her relationship didn't go as planned, and she's ended up in the hospital. She says she wants to be more involved with the kids again, but it's complicated. She lives over an hour away and has a packed schedule. I used to pick up the slack for her. Not anymore. I know my worth now. I'm done being anyone's backup plan. Once she's better, we can talk about setting healthy boundaries for co-parenting. But I won't be the one to carry her through this storm. I couldn't save her before, and I won't try to now. I spoke with her doctor at the hospital. They told me she'll be discharged soon. A part of me feels guilty, but she's going to have to find her way now, just like I had to when she left me and the kids. Sometimes I get this tightness in my chest when I think about the dark places she might go. It's hard to breathe when the anxiety hits. And just to make things even more twisted, the guy she had the affair with tried to message me on Facebook. I blocked him immediately and took a screenshot as proof. I broke my no-contact rule just to tell her what happened, thinking she'd care. But she didn't. She shrugged it off, said it wasn't her problem. Technically, she's right. But I was hoping for at least a shred of decency from her, to help me shut this guy down. Instead, she rambled on about how she was working to fix things for the kids. That moment taught me something valuable. Never break the no-contact rule. Not even when it hurts. Especially then. It's been a month now with 0 contact. I've stuck to that, and I'm proud of myself for it. Even though that guy's still trying to keep tabs on me, honestly, I couldn't care less about him. My real anger isn't about him. It's about everything that happened between me and her. I'm furious at the woman I thought I'd grow old with. She still haunts my thoughts. Every time she shows up in my mind, I mutter curses under my breath. That's not who I am. I've never been someone who wishes others harm. But just hearing her name makes my blood boil. The hardest part? Pretending everything's okay for the kids. I don't talk about her, don't badmouth her. But sometimes my daughter brings her up, and I have to bite my tongue so hard it hurts. I keep my face neutral and my voice calm, even when I'm raging inside. I refuse to let her or the guy she left me for ruin my progress. They took enough already. Now I'm building a life without them, and I'm guarding it fiercely. I want them far away from me and my children. Weekends with my daughter have become movie nights. During the week, I take my son for long walks while she's at school. Being a dad fills me with pride and purpose. But I'll admit, it leaves almost no time for me. Between parenting, training, and therapy sessions with my Veterans Affairs counselor, I don't have much space to breathe. Right now, I'm working through PTSD. It's a daily battle. My thoughts keep getting dragged back to her, what she did, how she left. It affects my focus, and I worry that it's making me less present as a father. Looking back, I realize how much I gave. I was always there for her, supporting her career, covering for her late hours, even rubbing her feet when she came home drained. And now? All that effort feels meaningless. Like none of it ever mattered to her. I can't be the only one going through this. I wonder if other people feel the same kind of betrayal. If so, how the hell are they getting through it? Kickboxing and physical training help. They let me burn off some of the frustration. But it's only one piece of the puzzle. It's not enough. In a half-hearted attempt to move forward, I even created a profile on Match. I know I'm not emotionally ready for a relationship. Not even close. But maybe I just needed to see what was out there, to remind myself that healing is possible, even if I'm not there yet. I made a conscious choice recently, to get real with myself. No more pretending everything's fine. Recovering from infidelity, it's brutal. No sugarcoating that. A few months ago, I picked up this book called No More Mr. Nice Guy. It dives into something called the White Knight Syndrome. Basically the habit of trying to save people, often at your own expense. Reading through it, I realized I'd fallen into some of those traps. Not because I wanted brownie points, but because fixing things, being helpful, has always been who I am. After leaving the army, I kept the same mindset. I stayed sharp, kept things in order. Maybe part of me was just hoping it would take some pressure off my partner when she got home from work. I've always been the kind of guy who looks for solutions, who likes leaving things better than I found them. In the fire department, living with the crew, I learned to clean up after myself, take care of my space. It became second nature. But lately I've started wondering, was I too kind? Is it wrong to value kindness? It sure feels rare these days. Pain, on the other hand, seems to be everywhere. It breaks me to see my ex diving headfirst into a new lifestyle. And after just 6 months apart, she's already fighting for full custody of the kids and spousal support. I'm counting down the days to our court date. I just want this over with. Most of my energy is focused on managing my PTSD and making sure the kids are okay. But there's still this knot of anger inside me, directed at the woman I thought I'd be with forever. I'm trying to stay present, I really am, but the emptiness inside, it's hard to ignore. Not long ago, she told me our daughter had been talking about hurting herself. Said it was because the two of them hadn't spoken for all of November. That alone was enough to knock the wind out of me. Then, a few days later, I got a call from a deputy. He asked me to turn over a firearm that was registered in her name. Apparently, she's no longer allowed to have it. That moment made me question everything. Am I being naive, trying to keep things civil? I had actually unblocked her after she told me she was having dark thoughts, because no matter what, I take that seriously. We started talking again cautiously. But I can't shake the feeling she's still seeing that guy. And maybe this whole situation is just her way of staying in touch with the kids under the radar. That's why I'm keeping my guard up. I don't fully trust her intentions, not anymore. But if she truly ended that relationship? If she showed real change? I might consider reconciliation. Still, I'd want the divorce to move forward as planned, and I need something in writing confirming I have full custody of the kids. No gray areas. No more half-truths. I've already responded to her divorce filing, and now we're waiting on a court date. Part of me thinks she knows how bad things might look for her in front of a judge. She told me her family stopped talking to her, and yeah, I can confirm that. I'm still close with some of them, and they haven't heard from her in weeks. She's also been talking about finding a job here in town. I hope she does, for the kids' sake. Tonight, We took the kids to the movies. Our daughter's therapist had raised red flags about her mental health, so I took immediate steps to get her the help she needs. And our 1-year-old? He was over the moon just having his mom back, even if it was only for a night. As for me? I felt distant. Numb. Detached. I've been on Bumble lately, just trying to meet people. I've had a few decent chats, but nothing serious. The truth is, most people aren't looking to jump into something with a single dad raising 2 kids. And deep down I worry. What if I do meet someone, we really click, and then my daughter rejects them? If she ever looked at me the way she looks at her mom? I don't think I could handle that. I'd walk away from any new relationship in a heartbeat. That said, I've been healing. Slowly, but steadily. I'm in therapy. I've been eating clean, training regularly. I even picked up Kung Fu. It's helped more than I expected. I've grown a lot since she left. I'm stronger now. More grounded. But I'd be lying if I said I knew what the right move is when it comes to reuniting as a family. She's in therapy now. On medication, too. That matters. She's mentioned couples therapy, and maybe that's worth exploring. But everything's moving fast, and if she's pregnant with someone else's baby and trying to rope me into raising it, I don't even want to finish that thought. I won't be part of something like that. I've got too many thoughts swirling in my head, too many doubts clouding my judgment. Honestly, I'd welcome any advice at this point. I'm stuck between wanting to reconcile and knowing full well what she's capable of. My daughter's well-being weighs heavily on every decision I make, so I know I need to tread carefully. I can't just follow my heart blindly, not when my kids are involved. But the truth is, their happiness matters more to me than anything. And if I thought there was even a slim chance to make things work, I'd be willing to put in another 10 years of effort with my ex. That's not something I say lightly. Right now, she's working, and I'm not. But as a disabled veteran with a low disability rating during our marriage, I've started reaching out to veteran services. They've recommended filing for an increase. If that goes through, I could end up making more than she does, which would help a lot, financially and in court. Realistically, I think it's likely I'll continue being the primary caregiver for our kids. That's not just based on my ability to care for them, it's based on everything that's happened. The fact that I had to turn over her firearm, along with her recent attempts to harm herself, only strengthens my position. This isn't just about winning custody. It's about protecting the life I've worked hard to rebuild, about staying on this positive path with or without her. I need to be able to look back one day and know I gave it everything I had to keep our family intact. She says she's going to therapy 3 times a week now, and she's taking medication. That matters, but I can't ignore the fact that in 16 years of marriage she never hurt herself. Yet after we separated, she's made 3 attempts. That shift is hard to wrap my head around. She knows about my past as a firefighter, about the scenes I've witnessed, the trauma. And part of me wonders if she's using that, if she's trying to tap into my memories as a way to manipulate my emotions. I've seen what real pain looks like. I've seen strong, physically powerful men break down, weeping in their underwear, clinging to their wives after tragedy. I still remember the blood. The metallic taste in the air. Those memories stick with you. Recently, I talked to my daughter. She said she wants our family to be whole again, all 4 of us. I told her the truth. I can't forgive her mother if she stays in that relationship. And I gently warned her not to pin all her hopes on getting back what we had. But I also realized that if I keep cutting her mother off completely, it could end up hurting the kids. My bitterness shows. It's there in my tone, in my expressions, and kids pick up on more than we give them credit for. My negativity is starting to affect them, and I can't let that happen. Still, I can't let my ex set the pace for my recovery. Just like I can't let my kids' hopes dictate my final decisions. If I really want to rebuild something that resembles a family, I have to lead by example. I have to take control of the situation, not for her, but for them. Getting back together with her won't magically fix anything. In fact, it might just make things worse. That thought keeps me up at night, What if our daughter sees her parents try again, only to watch her mother walk away a second time? What kind of message does that send? Worse yet, it could shape how she sees relationships. It could make her tolerate red flags or invite the wrong kind of people into her life. But then again, maybe this entire situation could be an opportunity. Maybe I can teach my kids that love isn't always perfect, that it's not like the movies. It's messy. It takes work. If my ex is actually going to therapy, if she's truly trying to get better, then yeah, I'd consider giving it one last shot. Even if the odds are only 1%, I think that's worth fighting for. Of course, I know how badly this could backfire. If either of us changes, then this whole thing is doomed. But if she keeps going to therapy, keeps taking her meds, and starts building real self-awareness, then maybe, just maybe, we've got a shot. And if it still doesn't work, if we part ways later on after the kids are grown, I can live with that. As long as we've raised them right and stayed true to our values, I'll be okay with walking away down the line. She claims she's no longer involved with the guy she left me for. Says she's been in therapy and taking her medication since July. She told me things haven't been going as well for her as I assumed. That she's been miserable for months. I tried to chalk most of that up to mental illness. Because if it's not that, then I don't know what to believe anymore. Before I even consider a real reconciliation, I know I need to speak with her therapist. If it turns out she's been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, or if this was all part of a major depressive episode, and if she truly feels remorse, then maybe we'd have a shot. But if she's still holding on to the idea of an open relationship, then it's clear, we need to go our separate ways for good. I genuinely appreciate everyone who's shared their thoughts and support. It means a lot to hear from people who understand the deep, aching pain that trauma brings. Over time, I've come to see how she's used manipulation to nudge me toward reconciliation. She told me that after our split, she tried to take her own life 3 times. She says she's going to therapy 3 times a week now, both one-on-one and in group sessions, and that she's taking medication. Even though I haven't spoken directly to her therapist, I have my suspicions. She seems to be dealing with heavy depression and maybe some codependency, too. She told me she's thinking about quitting her job and finding a place closer to us so she can be around the kids more. She's also said she feels isolated, like she has no family left. Something I can believe, considering her family hasn't been in touch, and I'm still on good terms with some of them. After a recent movie night with the kids, she started visiting more often, and our daughter lit up every time. That cracked the wall I built, and made me decide to end the no-contact phase, at least for now. Our daughter's school psychologist expressed concerns that she might harm herself. They believe it stems from feeling rejected by her mom. That hit hard. So while I'm still cautious, I've started letting her mom back into our lives in small, careful ways. My son, thankfully, seems to be doing okay. But I won't lie, I miss her. I miss the family we used to be. We've been together since we were 18, and part of me still clings to those memories. She even asked me out on a date recently. I said yes, because she seems to be trying, but deep down I know, I'm not emotionally ready for that. Not yet. I've also made one thing very clear: if things between us ever got physical again, I'd demand a paternity test. No exceptions. I'm not going to be tricked into raising someone else's child. Reconciliation is only on the table if we go through with the divorce, and I'm granted full custody of the kids. That's non-negotiable. If she chooses to continue her relationship with the guy she left us for, or if things get messy again, I want to have full control over our children's lives and our future. I'm still active on dating apps too. I won't be deleting those anytime soon, not until I'm certain she's truly done with that other relationship. Yesterday, I actually felt young again. Alive. There wasn't any big reason for it, but it was a moment of self-confidence I hadn't felt in a long time. I usually find myself drawn to people who are kind of tough, emotionally guarded, maybe even a little distant. That's always been my pattern. And sure, it's not the easiest path. But I keep trying, because my kids deserve a father who keeps fighting for them. Still, I can't make sense of one thing. She says she's been miserable since we separated. That she was unhappy. But how does that square with the way she left, cheating on me, abandoning our kids to be with someone else? If I were younger, I probably would have exploded with rage. But now, I just sit with it. I think. I reflect. Oddly enough, all of this has pushed me toward the idea of reconciling with my father, too. We've always had different approaches to handling problems, but maybe there's value in reconnecting there as well. As far as I know, she's not pregnant. There's been no sign of it, and nothing to make me suspect otherwise. She's agreed, albeit with some hesitation, that if we do reconcile, I'll have 100% custody. She also swears she's not seeing anyone else, including the man she had the affair with. Still, I find it hard to fully trust her. Trust takes time. Right now, we mostly communicate via text, trading short apologies. We haven't had a single face-to-face conversation without the kids around. She's said she regrets looking for validation from someone else, but she still hasn't directly apologized for cheating. And until she owns that, until she says the words, I'll always believe that she doesn't truly regret it. That said, she has finally agreed to couples therapy. That's huge, especially considering how resistant she used to be to any kind of therapy. Her refusal was one of the things that stopped me from getting help for my own PTSD for so long. I know there are serious challenges ahead. My heart is still healing. But no matter how hard this gets, I'm committed to trying to rebuild our family, if it's truly what's best for the kids, and if she proves she's willing to change. She broke her vows, yeah. But maybe, just maybe, this is where we both start becoming better versions of ourselves. I've always held tightly to the vows I've made throughout my life, especially the ones that meant something deep. As I reflect on everything I've lost and what I still cherish, I realize how much I miss about her. She was incredibly devoted to our kids. Her natural warmth and gentleness made her a truly amazing mother to our daughter. I also miss her sense of humor, the dry, sarcastic wit that used to catch me off guard in the best way. The way she used to say my name, there was something special in it, something that stuck with me. Her scent, her expression whenever I was about to do something dumb, those little things still pull at my heart. She always believed I was a great cook, and hearing her say that filled me with a quiet kind of joy. Her ability to stay calm and kind around others, to be diplomatic in tough situations, that's something I always admired. And her determination to learn new things, even when she didn't fully understand them? That kind of grit matched my own. Her uniqueness, that's what got me from the beginning. It mirrored parts of me, and I miss it more than I can put into words. I'd apologize 1,000 times for my mistakes if it would make a difference. If we do end up in court, the best I can realistically hope for is shared custody, maybe with her having the kids on weekends. But what I want most is full custody. I know that comes with huge responsibility, but it would give me peace of mind. I know, without a doubt, that I did everything in my power to protect and provide for our children. Even though I've tried to be open to reconciliation, I haven't lost sight of the bigger picture, securing a solid, stable future for our kids. I've often felt like she was just using me as a way to get time with the children. And despite that, she's only shown up a handful of times, never staying long or truly stepping into the role of their mother again. I held out hope, naively, that she'd return to being the mom I knew she could be. But instead, she feels more like a guilty visitor, someone who drops in from time to time, not a true part of the life I've rebuilt. Technically, we're still not divorced. She filed last June, and I submitted my response, but I haven't heard anything from the court since. I've waited to take the next step, partly because in my state, if a parent goes a full year without contacting their kids, it can be grounds for a child abandonment claim. That's what I believe has happened. And I hope both my lawyer and the judge see it that way too. I'm hoping it leads to me being granted sole custody. The tricky part is, she seems to be trying now. She wants to visit the kids, especially our son. But when it comes to rebuilding the bond with our daughter, she just avoids it. I get that change takes time. But it's hard to put trust in someone who keeps missing the mark. None of this is about romance anymore. The only questions I'm asking now are about what's best for the kids. So, should I keep waiting to hear from the court, or should I take the initiative, reach out to a lawyer and file for termination of her parental rights? I know that if I go that route, it's a serious step. But if I commit, I won't back down. I've been naive too long, trusted her too blindly. I still believe people have good in them. Even when they mess up, even when they lose their way, I want to believe they're not completely lost. But maybe the best thing I can do now is put distance between her and the kids, to protect them from more hurt. That said, life with the kids is going well. I get regular online therapy through a local veterans rehab center, which has been a lifeline for my PTSD. I also set up counseling for my daughter through her school to help her work through what she's going through. My little boy, though only 2, still misses his mom. Sometimes he asks about her, and I tell him she's at work. When she does visit, it takes a while for him to warm up again. I worry that her inconsistent presence is going to mess with him emotionally as he grows up. Every morning, we have this sweet little ritual, reading books, singing songs together. Then we fill our days with games and learning until his sister gets home from school. It's amazing to see how fast he's learning, new words every day, so much joy in such a small body. Because of what we've been through, I've started teaching him calming techniques, simple breathing exercises, and games. Just something to help him manage big feelings in a small world. As for me, I've dipped my toes into dating apps, met a few interesting people. But I know I'm not ready for anything serious yet. Right now, I'm focused on me, my growth, my therapy, my workouts. My entire world revolves around raising these kids. I'm doing it all solo, and even though having full custody comes with its challenges, it's worth it. I don't expect to get alimony from her, not that I'd mind if it happened, because the extra money would help. Another worry I carry, though, is my son. What if, one day, he holds this all against me? What if he grows up thinking I kept his mom away? That I didn't give her a chance? I truly believe that keeping this dishonest and mentally unstable woman out of our lives is what's best for the kids. It's been 7 months now. The divorce process dragged on, long, painful, emotionally draining. During that time, my ex-wife harmed herself physically and went through a long road to recovery. But in the end, I made the decision I had to make. She's no longer part of my life, or the lives of our children. A court order now legally prevents her from coming near me or the kids. Right now, she's in a mental health facility, and honestly, that's where she needs to be. As for me, I'm doing everything in my power to give our kids a happy, stable life, one free from the chaos and damage their mother left behind. They deserve peace. They deserve healing. And I'm going to make sure they get both.